Cricket has long claimed to rise above politics, but as the 2026 ICC Men's T20 World Cup approaches, that claim has never felt more fragile. What began as a scheduling dispute has now evolved into a full-blown credibility crisis for world cricket, one that threatens the tournament itself. Bangladesh has already refused to play its matches in India. Pakistan, through PCB chief Mohsin Naqvi, has now openly hinted at a boycott. And at the heart of this storm lies a long-standing, uncomfortable question. Who really runs the ICC? The precedent that changed everything. To understand how cricket reached this point, one must rewind to last year. When India refused to travel to Pakistan for an ICC tournament, citing security concerns, the ICC did not stand firm. Instead, venues were shifted, hybrid models were approved, logistical gymnastics were performed, all to accommodate India. At the time, many in the cricketing world warned, this will set a dangerous precedent. If one powerful member could refuse to travel and still get its way, what would stop others from doing the same? That warning has now become reality. The perception of Indian influence. There exists a widely held belief, particularly in South Asia, that ICC decisions are heavily shaped by Indian interests. India generates the majority of global cricket revenue, controls the most lucrative broadcast market, wields enormous influence through the BCCI. In the eyes of many boards, especially Bangladesh and Pakistan, the ICC ceased to function as a neutral regulator and instead became a commercially driven body, reluctant to challenge its most powerful stakeholder. So when Bangladesh raised concerns about playing in India, they expected the same flexibility India had received earlier. Instead, they were told, play in India or don't play at all. Bangladesh's standpoint. From a Bangladeshi perspective, this was not merely about security, it was about parity and respect. Bangladesh asked a simple question: why was India accommodated, but we are not? Their refusal to travel was a statement against selective flexibility, against unequal treatment, against an ICC that bends only in one direction. By replacing Bangladesh rather than negotiating, the ICC reinforced a belief that principles apply only to the powerless. The cost to Bangladesh is enormous, financially, competitively, and diplomatically. But so, they argue, is the cost of silence. Pakistan's calculated warning. Pakistan's position is more complex. PCB chief Mohsin Naqvi's remarks were not impulsive, they were strategic. Pakistan sees this moment as proof that the ICC rewards influence, not fairness. Decisions are reactive, not principled. Smaller full members are dispensable. For Pakistan, joining a boycott would be both an act of solidarity with Bangladesh, a direct challenge to the ICC's authority, yet it is also a gamble, risking isolation, sanctions, and long-term damage to Pakistani cricket. This is why Pakistan has not yet walked away, but the threat alone has already shaken the tournament's foundations. Impact on India. Ironically, India, the tournament host, could emerge as one of the biggest losers. A World Cup without Pakistan and already without Bangladesh loses its fiercest rivalries, suffers a blow to global legitimacy, risks being seen as a host benefiting from imbalance. Even if India fills stadiums domestically, the global narrative changes. Instead of celebration, the tournament becomes controversial. Instead of unity, it reflects division. The ICC's crisis of credibility. This is the ICC's greatest failure. Had the ICC stood firm when India refused to play in Pakistan, applied a single, non-negotiable policy, enforced neutrality regardless of revenue, then today's crisis may never have existed. Instead, the ICC chose short-term convenience over long-term governance. Now it faces fragmentation among full members, accusations of double standards, a precedent where politics dictate participation. The World Cup is no longer just a tournament. It is a test of whether the ICC can still claim moral authority. The bigger picture. If Pakistan also boycotts, this World Cup will be remembered not for cricketing excellence, but as a turning point, when global cricket openly fractured along lines of power and politics. What is at stake is not just one event, but the future idea of neutral hosting, equal treatment, collective governance. Cricket survives on trust, trust that rules apply equally, that no nation is bigger than the game. As the 2026 T20 World Cup approaches, the question remains, is the ICC governing cricket or merely managing India's convenience? And if the answer is already known, then perhaps this crisis was inevitable. Subscribe and stay tuned for more insightful cricket analysis.